Graham Bonifant alongside Felix Albuerne.
What is going on?
Of course, we came back to a familiar White Stripes song. And Brian Westbrook was doing a little more than just shuffling his way on that 71-yard touchdown run.
Holy crap.
Probably the best all-purpose back in the NFL is Brian Westbrook.
As long as he's
the little
healthy.
running back from Villanova.
As long as he's healthy.
Yeah, he looks as though he's pretty healthy right now.
Yes, right now. What I'm saying, the big knock on him is he doesn't go a full season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets hurt at some point in the season, takes 3 or 4 weeks off, and it's all a matter of when in the season that 4 weeks happens to be. Right now he's healthy, and therefore Philly has a fighting chance in every single game against any team in the league.
Yeah, well, we've said it before, at least I've said it. The Eagles are probably the enigma of the NFL. You don't know what you're going to get with them because of the fact they have all the talent in the world, and when they have things going for them, I literally do consider them a top 3 team in the NFL with all their talent and with all their intangibles.
Yes.
And especially their coaching staff. I mean, Andy Reid's done phenomenal over there. I mean, yes, he's had his personal issues that's been off the field, but he still does get the job done, as you can see with the Eagles being in the playoff. Jimmy Johnson is probably the best at drawing up blitz packages with the Eagles. And I mean, not a lot of big names on the Eagles defense. The only guy you really call off is Brian Dawkins, and sometimes Asante Samuel, but he's even forgotten in the fold at times. But you look at their front seven, you can't name anybody on the Eagles front seven.
Nope, no big stars.
But yet, they still dial up the right packages, and they're still a very formidable defense, who, by the way, blasted the Dallas Cowboys last week. I mean, just blasted the Cowboys.
And just to bring it back to this particular game, they flashed a graphic earlier on about Adrian Peterson's runs in this particular game. He had one big one for 40,
right,
and more than half of them were for negative yardage. That tells you something about the Philadelphia Eagles front seven and what they are capable of doing against the run. And you mentioned everything that the Eagles have going for them. You didn't mention McNabb, and I guess maybe it goes without saying what he brings to the table when he is on.
Right.
When he is off, then he looks like a kiddie player. I mean, he looks like a freshman high school quarterback.
Yeah.
But when he's on, look out, because he will drop bombs on you.
And it's exactly the same thing of what I said about the Eagles. When he is on, he's a top 3 quarterback. You know, McNabb is a guy that can either be an elite quarterback or when he's off is very minimal at best when it comes to McNabb. You know, but right now the Eagles look as though they're going to win. They're going to punch their ticket to take on the defending Super Bowl champion New York Giants.
All hail the New York Giants! New York
Giants! I got to tell you something though. There are folks out there that are Minnesota Vikings fans. That if this continues to go the way it's going, if it goes south for the Vikings, there are fans out there that are actually going to be happy because they believe that it will be the end of the Brad Childress era in Minnesota.
They didn't give him enough time.
The media in St. Paul gives him hell on a weekly basis. And the decision to go back to Tavares Jackson has been tremendously controversial with that fan base. We don't hear about any of it down here in Florida.
Right.
But I have a buddy who's a huge Minnesota Vikings fan. He follows the St. Paul papers on the web, and it's amazing how that town has turned on Childress. They want this team to lose so that he will get fired and Ziggy go in a different direction and with a different coach and a different quarterback. They want Jackson gone too. And Jackson has been trying to get this team just within field goal range while the game was still 16-14, and it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
So that's more fuel for the fire in that particular department.
I think that they need a couple more weapons. I mean, it's kind of, tough hit right there. But, it's kind of easy to key off of Adrian Peterson. They don't have any other playmakers that, make you wonder, okay, can this guy change a game or not? I mean, Bernard Berrien's shown at times he can be a playmaker.
But what does Berrien need in order to shine? What has he never had in his career, either in Chicago?
Another receiver or maybe even a tight end that can take away some of that.
How about a consistent quarterback?
Well, that too.
How about a consistent quarterback? Because in Chicago you had Rexy, Sexy Rexy, throwing as often to the wrong jersey as he was. Very nice. Throwing as often to the wrong jersey as he was to his own receivers. Or Kyle Orton. I don't think he ever really played with Orton, unless it was that one season where Rex went down early. But now coming over here, Berrien's best games, I believe, don't quote me on this, you can look up the stats, but I would think his best games came when old Gus Frerotte was behind center for Minnesota and not Tavares Jackson.
Now, if there is a problem with Minnesota, is the fact that they haven't developed any consistency at all with their quarterbacks.
Nope.
You know, I mean, it's like a rotating door. I mean, you thought what was it? The Dolphins after Marino before settling on Pennington this year went through 6 quarterbacks.
More like 20.
There's a lot of quarterbacks.
It was a lot of quarterbacks between Dan Marino.
I mean, and another
Chad
team,
Pennington.
and another team with the greatest achievement ever, the Detroit Lions. You saw how many quarterbacks they went through this year. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't stick with Orlovsky. I mean, he only runs out of the back of the end zone when it comes to